Welcome to Built from Love, the podcast for moms birthing businesses and babies. I'm Erin Pratt, and thank you so much for being here.
Hello, and welcome back to the Built from Love podcast. I'm Erin Pratt. So excited to have you here today. And I'm going to be talking about something that I hope really energizes you as we are moving further into 2026. Today, I'm going to talk about the Chinese Zodiac and the energy of 2026, which is the year of the fire horse, not just the year of the horse, it is a fire horse. Last year, for reference, was the year of the wood snake. It carried a very different energy than what we're going to be experiencing in 2026. Now, let me just take a moment to preface here. Believe what you want to believe, put whatever weight you want to put into the Chinese zodiac and what that means for the new year. But I just think it's really fun to look through these different lenses at the energetics around us and bring in what feels right and leave behind what doesn't. So, last year, with the year of the wood snake, it was a year of a lot of releasing, shedding, letting go, transformation. Wood is a heavier, denser energy, it's of the earth. So last year might have felt, whatever it felt for you, it carried the energy that was a little bit maybe heavier, a little bit more reflective, inwards, shedding, releasing, letting go, old habits, people, careers, forms and parts of your identity that needed to be shed. We also saw politically like a lot of shedding of different institutions and organizations. And not going to get into politics today, but it just is what was happening. And so that was last year. This year, we're moving into the year of the fire horse. So let's talk about the energetics we're going to be playing with this year and related to how you can leverage those energetics to support your goals and your dreams. And that's going to be individual to you. So take what you can from this episode, and hopefully it inspires you to take action towards your dreams and your goals this year. So the Chinese New Year starts not at the kind of calendar New Year of January 1st, the way we celebrate it here in the United States. It actually starts today, February 17th. So for one, I felt like going into this year, I was all excited. And then we had a really rough January. And I was like, this is not the energy I want to carry into the year. And then I read about the Chinese New Year and I was like, oh, okay, I have till February 17th. That's actually really exciting because I feel like I've shed and released and kind of closed out the energy from this last year's cycle. And now it feels kind of alive. I feel like I have a lot more clarity and I'm excited. So this feels much more in alignment for me. So I'm running with it. So the horse represents freedom, momentum, courage, bravery, decisiveness. The horse doesn't tiptoe into something and pull back. Think about this racing horse mentality of like the gun goes off and you hit the ground running. So this year of the horse favors those who are ready to take action. This is also amplified by the fire element. So it's just going to like blow up everything that you're doing with more energy, more vitality, and more fierceness behind it. So, this is a year to move forward on things. It's not a year to sit back and wait. Whereas last year might have been a more reflective year, a quieter year to like sit with yourself and maybe play around with ideas in your head. It might have been more internalized, letting go of what's not working. This is not a year to do that. It is a year to actually take steps. And it's a year that's going to embrace imperfection. So you don't have to be afraid of like launching things out there messy, imperfectly. It's going to favor that kind of energy for those people who are willing to take those risks, experiment, and be bold. So, what does this mean for us as creative mothers? So, for those who are kind of in the throes of early childhood, about to give birth, pregnant, in postpartum, in it with a toddler, early young children. This is a year to not sit on those ideas that you've been sitting on in your own way. I'm going to preface all of this information for the moms that what I've been listening to and reading, I've been reading up a lot on this kind of fire horse energy. I've been listening to podcasts, been doing the human design thing. It often neglects to talk about like mothers in their own season of life. So you have to add this energy into the season of life you're in. So if you have a newborn on your chest, there's a different energy to the year of the fire horse that you're going to move forward with. And it might be just getting that idea together in your head. I find postpartum to be a time of a lot of creativity, but it doesn't allow me to actually act on that creativity. So, whatever this means for you, whatever season you're in with children, it means take those actions and steps forward. You can move forward really slowly. You can move forward at a crawl. Just make sure that you're moving in the right direction and the year is going to support that energy. So, again, it's not a year to sit on ideas. It's not a year to wait for permission. It's not a year to overthink. My overthinkers, my perfectionists, let that go this year. This is a year to harness your creativity, to believe in yourself, your ideas, the projects that are sitting in your heart, the businesses you want to launch. This is a year to move forward. So, I'm going to talk about 3 separate points in this episode today for you to consider, reflect on, and then use that kind of as inspiration to move forward into this 2026 year, the year of the fire horse. So, my point number 1 is take action on what's been on your heart, whatever you've been thinking about, the side business, creative project, sharing your story, writing again, starting a blog, launching a newsletter, even trying new things with your children. Maybe you're launching into a different journey or routine with your kids. Maybe you've been trying out new rhythms with your family, starting a new project for your kids, getting them enrolled in something. This is a year to move forward with that energy. This is forward momentum. You don't need everything figured out before you get started. That is the big message of this year. For those who are sitting on their hands, beta testing ideas, this is not the year to do that. This is the year to move forward messily, imperfectly, just needing to start. So, I want you to consider what's one small step I can take today that moves me towards this idea. It could be as simple as just jotting down this plan, sending an email, running it by a friend, taking or posting that first photo or piece of content that you wanted to share. These small steps are going to compound. Momentum is going to build. A few things I'm doing this year that I actually decided before finding out about the year of the fire horse. One thing I'm doing every day, or I'm sorry, not every day, as many days as I can remember to do so, is journaling. I want to be consistent with my journaling practice for the first time potentially ever. Now, I'm not going to journal every day because I know it's just not going to happen. But my goal is to journal at least half the days of every month. And I kind of write at the end of my journal entry for the last day of that month how many days out of the month I journaled. So that is one thing that I'm moving forward in. I also want to be more consistent with podcasting. So I'm considering this my year of the fire horse. I will be consistently podcasting about 1 episode a week. I'm going to aim for 3 episodes a month. So that'll at least get me into a good routine with podcasting, which I love and I want to share more this year. So, thinking about something you can do regularly, repetitively, starting those little small steps that are going to compound into something really big for this year. My second point is a really important one, and it's one I've been thinking more and more about. It's also a big reason I kind of pulled away from social media this year. So, if you didn't listen to that episode, I shared more about my decision to step away from social media for all of 2026 and focus on my Substack, my podcast, and living offline. Point number 2 is show up authentically. And this word gets used a lot and it kind of gets thrown out there a lot, especially in like the business kind of mentorship circles, always be authentic. But this is more serious than ever before, you guys. We're living in a world that is moving more and more in the direction of AI and automation. And that is a really good thing. That's really where we're supposed to be going, honestly. I think I am a fan of AI. I hope that we use it in the right ways over the coming years, especially for our sweet generations coming up, my little girls, the world they're going to inherit from us. Please let us be responsible with this technology. So I hope AI takes away the monotonous work tasks of our day to day to free us up to live more in a place of joy, more in our creativity, more in analog ways, utilizing our hands, maybe reconnecting with our food sources, nature, gardening, the earth, hands on types of activities. And again, like a shift away from working 40 hours a week or more, which many people do. I hope it shifts us to working like 2 days a week, a day a week, whatever you want. Um, but what I see AI doing is we all are sounding the same. If you've noticed, copy, website copy, content online, newsletters, emails, all of it, it's all getting better. I mean, people are sounding really good, but everyone's sounding the same. The structure is all the same. And it's unfortunate because it is elevating everybody's copy. It's nice in that way. Everybody sounds good. There's no more grammatical errors. Everybody has nice structure to their emails and their blog posts, their newsletter content, their social media posts, but it all sounds the same because we're all using these platforms that are making our copy look and sound the same. So the world doesn't need all of us to be the same. It needs our most authentic self to show through. It needs our soul to express itself in the unique way that each of our souls are able to do in this world. The world needs your voice, your perspective, and your creative energy. Authenticity is magnetic and it's going to become even more magnetic. People are drawn to the real stories, real struggles, real wins, real voices. So I want to encourage you to lean into your uniqueness this year, your voice, however you can share it, even if it's with a neighbor down the road, even if it's with your own children and your husband, even if it's with the moms at your co op, wherever you're speaking, speak with authenticity, speak with your unique angle, your perspective, and don't rely on AI to just like polish up that product. Really get true to yourself, and it's going to shine through in whatever endeavors you're pursuing. This is going to win out. It's going to be more and more valued. There's something I can talk about that is probably for another episode if I dare to go there. It's like this new paradigm is coming in 2027. If you follow human design, you'll have heard of it. We're moving from this something called the cross of planning to the cross of the sleeping phoenix. If you want to do your own research, I encourage you to do so. I probably will record an episode on this as we get further into this year. But essentially, what's happening is we're moving from a system that was our overarching energetic system for the last 400 years was the cross of planning. It was all about building in community, for the community, by the community. It was a system of structures, of organizations. Think about international kind of charitable organizations, all of our government departments, all of them, Department of Homeland Security, Department of Energy, Department of Education. Everything was systemized, structured. When you're hurt, you call 911. When you are, having any question, there was someone to turn to. There was a system in place, and it served us really well. We're at a turning point in 2027, in February 2027. We're moving from the cross of planning to the cross of the sleeping phoenix. There's so much I could go into, but essentially what I want to leave you with is we're moving from an age of the collective to the individual. The individual is going to be what matters over these next few hundred years. It is going to be the age of self-reliance. Rely on yourself. Trust your gut instincts. You do not need to be told by authorities, by experts, where to go, what to do. You could kind of see the shift already starting to happen as we move forward closer to 2027. More and more individuals are rising and reclaiming their own power. So one example I can give of this is instead of returning to like the established news media, people are turning to following individual news podcasters, bloggers, writers, substackers, and we're actually paying people for their content. We want to hear from them. We don't want to hear from CNN and Fox News. We want to hear from the individual that has a unique perspective and angle on this, and we're actually willing to pay them. This is going to be the age of the entrepreneur. It's like everybody should own their own business as we move forward into this age. That is another episode. But the point is, authenticity is going to win. So be true to yourself, be true to your unique perspective, your unique voice. Tell a story, tell your story. Find what is within you that wants to be born into this new year. Okay. So this is really going to be your superpower this year and into the new age. And then my third point is to experiment without fear. So I kind of talked a little bit about this. Trying new things can feel risky, putting yourself out there. I've been doing this for so long. Guys, I started moon circles in my corporate DC area while I was working in a corporate job. It was such a weird, scary thing to start saying I was a moon circle facilitator, like very witchy, very vibey, but a little nerve-wracking. I was so new to it. I embraced it. It was who I was. I loved learning about connecting with the phases of the moon and holding women together in community to talk about that, to lead them through that, to use the energies around us and these natural cycles to help guide us. And as I continue to put myself out there, launching new businesses, pivoting without fear of what people think, of what people are going to say, just being true to myself. This is the energy of this year. Experiment fearlessly, risk take where you can, launch without worrying about what someone's going to think about it. So, this is the fire horse energy. Be visible this year. Try new things, move forward, push past discomfort. So, think about experimenting as like small steps to learning and growing. Failure is part of the deal, failure is part of life. And it's either like a part of the growth to move you to the next thing or a redirection into what it is that you're supposed to be doing. So embrace failure wholeheartedly. Really do it. I've learned to do this. And look at failure as just like that lesson. I learned so much from my little girls about failure. The amount that they have to try to learn everything that they need to know to be a functioning human being is astounding. Little babies come into this world knowing nothing but their instincts to like feed and sleep and basically poop. That's like all babies know. They have to learn everything and they do it all so imperfectly. My 6-month-old is just now starting to eat foods. She can like barely find her mouth with her hands, like everything is learning, but she has to do it. She has to repeat over and over and over these muscles to help her sit, to crawl, to walk, to talk, to laugh, to sing. Everything is an experiment. Everything is a work in progress. And she is the picture of beauty. So if I can be anything like her, I'm going to fail. I'm going to try. I'm going to fall. I'm going to get up again and move past those tears and just embrace it all. So, what is something that you can try this year? What have you been afraid to try? What would happen if you gave yourself permission to try something new this week? This is a great time to embrace the little pockets of time. This is the year to make the most of the time that you would spend scrolling. So if you want to join me, like put social media away. This is not the year to copy what other people are doing. This is the year to try and be true to yourself, to be your most authentic, visible self. Okay. So this is the time to stop scrolling, start creating. It's like my new tagline. Um, and to help you in this year, I have been offering these coaching calls. I used to have a coaching program. I'm not running it right now because of the phase of life I'm in, but I am offering coaching calls. So for women who want to launch their thing into the world with some guidance, I'm available. So I want to help walk you through getting your idea out into the world. And if you already have your idea or your business, I can help walk you through the next steps of getting that more visibly seen, creating some frameworks or structures around that idea or that business. And I'm also adding in, if you're interested, I'm playing around with this again, throwing it out there without fear, with some experimentation. I want to see who's interested in human design. So I've been studying human design as a system, and I have an episode on this, which I'll link. For 10 years, I would say. I was working in corporate when I first found out about this. Okay, so about 10 years I've been studying human design. It has single-handedly been the most effective system for understanding myself, my energy. I'm a projector for anyone who's interested. So in my coaching calls, I also want to do a human design reading where I'm going to actually look up and read and analyze your chart to help you best move forward with your specific energy, with your specific life path. I want to help others kind of embrace this. Human design is a very supportive for people who are starting businesses. It is also extremely supportive for moms to understand both yourself, your energy type, how to move through the world, understanding your strategy and authority. These are human design terms. and also your children. I've looked up all three of my girls' human design, my husband's. It is a beautiful system for understanding ourselves, our blueprints, what we're supposed to do to like make the most of our human design type and energy as we move forward in life. So if anyone's interested, I'm going to put a link to book that call with me. It includes a human design reading as well as supportive coaching for the phase of business that you're in, especially those who are earlier in the business planning or ideation of what it is you're looking to launch. Let's use the fire horse to get things going this year. I am so pumped up about this year. I pulled a lot back last year. I was pregnant. I was sick. We had so many things happen in our family. And it felt like kind of a heavy year. And then my daughter was born and it was beautiful, but it was very introspective. It was very kind of like a hermit, sort of like pulling back, shedding layers, releasing what needed to be released. And now I do feel, again, this is before I found out about the fire horse energy. Now I do feel ready to like get going with some things. And so I hope that this inspires you to do the same in your way. Remember, forward momentum doesn't have to be big, it just has to be moving in the right direction. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you're excited about the year of the fire horse. If you have any questions or anything came up for you, I'd love to hear from you. Reply back to my email, comment on my podcast episode. I would love to hear from you. And if you could help me, I am off social media this year. This is a huge experiment. This is a trust in the universe to help me get my message out there. If you could please share this with someone you think could use this podcast in their life, I would be so grateful. Send it to a friend, send it to somebody who is a mom and it needs some support in their life to kind of just continue to build on their creativity in a very time consuming, energy consuming season of motherhood. I would love for you to send it to somebody. And if you haven't already, I would so appreciate a rating, a review. I'm on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much. I absolutely love this podcast and doing it. And I can't wait to see where this all goes in the year of the fire horse. All right, keep building what you're building from a place of love. Until next time.